everybody, this is Charlie with IC Customs. We are currently working on our Benchman VMC 5000. It's a refit from a 1997 machine. So all the electronics was replaced, and the main control functions of the machine was the breakout board and the M26 relay expansion board. All my items I've picked up from Arturo at CNC4PC. I wanted to go over the M26 expansion board. Basically, it controls and pinouts, power, inputs, etc. This video is not about what the relays are capable of, current handling, those kind of things. That information can be found from the website or the products manual. So basically, we currently have power to the machine. As you can see, the power and the status light is lit. The status light will not be lit if you do not have this enabled. There is a jumper line that's on here. Usually it comes from the package with the jumper on. It'll tell you in the instructions, so leave the jumper on unless you're told otherwise within the manual. The ribbon cable with the M26 comes back and it plugs into the Warp 9 drive. I had some trouble in the beginning and had to work this with the Toro, so henceforth I'm doing a video. I'm hoping that he will actually use this. The M26 was not getting power. I wired a 5-volt power supply into the input sections of this, and it would not do anything. Remove the jumper, the power light would come on then, but I would not get a status. So after some research and emails back and forth with Arturo, we come to the conclusion that this jumper on the Warp 9 ESS was not connected, which provides the 5 volts back to the M26 expansion board. So if you have this similar setup, this Warp 9 ESS, no matter what kind of breakout board or multi-board that you might have, you want to verify that the power jumper is on, which will go through this ribbon cable and supply the power to that. You will not need an internal or an input 5 volts. Basically, once you provide power to it, that is an output voltage for any of the signal input voltage inputs that you may have on here. There's 12 relays on this board, and pins 1 through 9 control basically relays 1 through 9 on the Mach software, and then pins 14, or excuse me, relays 10, 11, and 12 is controlled by pins 14, 16, and 17. This is all through port 3. I will go through the Mach software and show you how to enable those items so that you'll be able to use these functions. The input section down here is for sensors, push buttons, those kind of things. For my particular setup, I have my ATC, which these are all 120 volt inputs, and then I have a 24 volt input for a secondary relay that goes to the coolant pump. So the voltages may vary through your relays. Like I said, you need to just verify the current capacity of those current items that you're wishing to use in here, and if you need higher capacity, then you could use this relay board to activate a higher capacity relay. The input signals for my particular one that I currently have connected, this machine is still being built as we speak, so this video is just to cover what I have so far. So in here, I'm taking the 5 volt input and sending it out to the console that this machine runs with, and then it goes through a switch, and that switch feeds back and comes into pin 10 on here, which then in turns activates relay 5 in this particular setup. I have it configured in the Mach 3 software, and that is the power drawbar. So I have the ability to activate the power drawbar via the macro in Mach 3 that will be used during a machining evolution. So, or I can choose to do a manual tool change by pressing the button out on the console, which then in turns goes through Mach 3 software, and it determines that I have an input in here, and that input is to activate that relay, and then that relay gets turned on, and then it allows me to remove the tool, and then reinstates itself back to a normal position. So what I'll do now is we'll stop here, and I will go to the screen, and I'll go through the setting up the inputs and outputs for the M26 expansion board. Okay, now we have it set up so you can see the monitor. Like I said, this machine is still being built, so henceforth there's still holes to apply switches that I may use. So, but the software is in function at this point. So when you bring up this is a custom screen set, and it was made by CNC4XR7. That's his screen name or his channel name on YouTube. Sam is his name. If you want a custom screen set, and he does the macros, he did the macros for my ATC, so you can watch some of my other videos in regards to the ATC, etc. So anyways, when you come up to your Mach 3 screen, like I said, it will be the appearance may be different, but this bar of functions will all be the same no matter what version, or not what version, but what screen set that you may have on your Mach 3. So in order for you to be able to use a lot of these relays, you need to activate them in here. So this has the Warp 9 Ethernet smooth stepper. So if you purchase these items from CNC4PC, it'll give you the installation package to install, and it'll pre-set up everything, but you still have to come in here and make these configuration change. So this is basically for the Warp 9 ESS and the plug-in control. So you come in here, you want to go to the main config section, and when you come in, its default is to set port 3 pins 2 through 9. It will be defaulted as an input, so you'll have to do the drop down and select it as an output. That will let you be able to use port 3 pins 2 through 9. Pin 1 is automatic, so that one works no matter what. It's some other default inside the Mach 3 software, and you don't have to make any changes. So pin 1 or relay 1 will continue to work no matter what. So, but you still need to change the pins 2 through 9 to an output step there. The rest of them, as far as port 3 pins 14, 16, and 17. I haven't tried them before I did all of this, so those may work by themselves without making any changes here. But in order to get relays 2 through 9, you need to turn that to an out position. So you get complete with that, and it would be the standard setup of ports and pins that you would want to change for whatever function that you're wanting to do. Mine happens to be set up for the current macro that I have installed in the machine. So for this particular one, like output 5, it's enabled. It is on port 3, as you can see, and that is relay number 6. That relay number 6 turns on my coolant. So the coolant function comes through there, and I'll show you where to enable that, how it knows to look for output 6. Yes, and output 6 is for the power drawbar. So that is also set up by an OEM trigger in the macro. So the OEM trigger comes in, and when I push the button on the console to open that up, it sends a signal back to the M26 and allows the power drawbar to open and close. The other outputs here, as you can see, output 11, 12, 13, 14. Those are ports 3 as well, and that is for relay 1, 2, 3, and 4, and those are my ATC tool changer ports. This particular machine come OEM with a 4 tool post changing in on it, so that's what it currently has. Output 16 is another function set up. Output 19, I'm not sure what I have it set up as. I think that's a blowdown relay. I haven't installed that yet on there, so that would be on relay 7, but still port 3. So you'll need to, whatever functions that you have and goes accordance to your macro is what you'll need. When you come in in order to enable like your coolant relay, etc., go into the spindle setup, and right here where it says flood mist control, you see right here, here's the outputs. That is what it's going to go to activate that output. When you go into output signals, it'll look for that there, what port and pins that you have set up in there. So anyways, I hope you find this helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comment section, and I'll do what I can to help you out. Thanks, guys.